The U.S. conclusion that a chemical attack near Damascus in August was carried out by the government has been challenged by a team of highly respected experts. Washington immediately blamed President Assad, but a new report from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology found the rocket couldn't have been fired from government-controlled area.
We went through 2 to 3 months worth of study to determine the types of rockets, the weight, the size, the propellant. And we determined that the range is on the order of 2 kilometers. I'd like to make a note that the UN also had come up with a range of approximately 2 kilometers. So this is very confusing to us in our studies, and we're trying to understand exactly what the White House map means, because right now as it stands, these rockets could have never been fired from government-controlled territory. They would be fired more from a rebel type of territory or a border of a contested territory.
And RT's Alexei Gerashevsky looked into the MIT study. Let's now get more details from him right now. Hi there, Alexei. So it appears something in the U.S. conclusions doesn't seem to match up. Tell us more.
Well, indeed, this is the mission of this report, to answer a question whether the missiles were actually fired from the parts of Damascus controlled by the government. Now, we reproduced the very same map which the Washington officials presented when they voiced the concerns that the attack could have been carried out by the government troops. Look, if we look here, this is the part of Damascus controlled by the government at the time, which was, of course, the 21st of August 2013. And this is the part of Damascus controlled by the opposition troops. So if we can see those blinking yellow spots. Those are the areas where the missiles carrying the sarin gas hit the ground, causing some deadly damage and reportedly hundreds of casualties. And this red line here is basically to signify how far could these rockets go if they were fired from the parts of Damascus controlled by the government. As we can see, the closest, the westernmost point of attack of the sarin missiles is some way off from the maximum range of missiles, this particular type of missile, which was used in this attack. As we heard from Mr. Lloyd, the maximum range of these missiles is about 2 kilometers. Well, this point here is at least 4 kilometers from the easternmost point of the government-controlled areas of Damascus at that time. And if we talk about the heart of this area controlled by the government, which was mentioned by the U.S. State Secretary John Kerry, that's at least 8 to 9 kilometers from the easternmost point. Now, if we also must remember that there were areas closer to the government-controlled areas in the western Ghouta region of Damascus, which were also allegedly hit by the sarin attack. But in both of these places, the UN investigators did not find any substantial environmental evidence to prove that the attack was actually carried out, although there were some victims in this, the victims of the sarin gas attack in this area. Now, the one issue which the authors of this report are raising as to why the intelligence, the U.S. intelligence, used this particular map even before the UN investigators reached the site to hold their own investigation. But the U.S. authorities were already quick to jump to conclusions. Let's remember what the U.S. State Secretary John Kerry said back then.
High confidence. This is common sense. This is evidence. These are facts.
This latest report is not basically attributing blame to any side, but it sticks another boot into the accuracy of U.S. intelligence and even alleges that Barack Obama could have instigated another military action, this time against Syria, in a similar fashion that George W. Bush did against Iraq. Official Washington hasn't yet responded in any way to this latest report.
RT's Alexei Gerashevsky live there. Alexei, many thanks indeed for that.